Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Walking with Beau. Kind of what I would call an almost cool evening. Almost cool. So, anyways, I'm going to walk a basic 5 miles tonight because it's been a long day. And I'm running on light sleep. So I'm just going to walk my 5 miles. Call it good. So we had a very good let's see, I gotta pick this up. Oh, this is nice. If you could see this, that is Chairman Xi, 7/20/2024, that's today. First magazine, distance 10 yards. Point of aim, top of nose. Somebody went shooting and they made a target made out of Chairman Xi of China. Remington green box, 9mm. Model CZ85. So I'm getting bitten by something. Hollow rounds. Please shoot this a-hole, it says. Well, how about that, huh? I guess Xi's not making many friends. So that's pretty funny. We had our first amusing incident on the walk. Somebody's paper target. Welcome to Maine, gun country. Don't let the Democrats here tell you different. All right. Alright, what do we got here? Looks like another piece of paper. Looks like some more target shooting. It's some more target shooting, folks. We already read one, we're not going to read another one. Somebody lost their paper targets today. So anyways, hope everybody's doing okay. Thank you for joining me on my tired walk. Had a lot of fun today. My brother and I went shooting. Had a blast. I shot some 9mm. I shot some 45 ACP. I shot a bunch of 38 special. I shot a whole bunch of 22s. I shot some 30-30 Winchester. And had a great, also shot some 308. Pretty nice. So that was a lot of fun. Shot at about 104 yards. We shot at about 40 yards. We shot at 30 yards. I shot a whole bunch of sparkling water cans and tin cans out on the dune, on the sand. That was fun. It's kind of an almost warm, almost cool evening, about 69 degrees. Not terribly humid, but a little bit warm with regard to that. I'll have the sweat going shortly. We were at the range today. It was about 80 degrees. I had sweat dripping off my nose. It was not a cool 80 degrees. Plenty of sunshine today. That was fun. And whenever I go shooting and I'm going to be out in the sun, I use sunscreen. So I'm not sure I really need to, and the reason why I'll explain that is I'm a firm believer in genetics. Although genetics will not protect you from everything, it's a factor, right? I think people would agree. And haven't had anybody in my family at all that's ever had skin cancer. Haven't had anybody in my family that's had cancer, except for my Uncle Valier. He had an upper abdominal kind of thing. So that's what I mean. But primarily in my family, it's always strokes. I've talked about that before. Heart disease doesn't happen. Although my mother did have an enlarged heart, but that's because she was diabetic and she smoked and she was overweight by quite a bit. Not insanely obese, but definitely obese. And so that's not healthy. So anyway, we're walking on this July 20th. Watched Trump rally from Michigan. My goodness, what a packed house. Big giant arena, packed to the rafters. There was a big overflow crowd outside. And it looked to me about maybe 3,000, maybe 4,000 people outside, at least on the camera clip, video clip I saw. May have been more. I may be underestimating it. They were watching a big jumbotron outside. Trump has crazy interest right now. And on top of that, he did one of his best rally speeches tonight that I think he's done in many months. You know, he's had a lot of stuff to deal with, the legal stuff, and, you know, so he seemed more like how he used to be tonight. And I hope you had a chance to check it out. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, please don't get shot. Please don't get shot. But all was well. The other thing noticeable again was Secret Service had the detail, and they had all men, no females. And I've noticed that since this incident happened. That's not to say women can't do the job, they can. But they had a woman on that detail that was not good. She's the one that didn't know where to go, what to do. And it's one of those things where men just have a different mindset when there's danger and stuff. Women are excellent in different areas than that. I've always said this, you've heard me say it on my walks. Women are much better at making business decisions. Smart decisions with money, planning. Men are more reactionary. You get too close and we're more likely to push somebody in the chest. Hey, back the hell up. Women are more like, sir, you know, I don't want you this close. You're making me feel uncomfortable. That's the difference, and that's testosterone. Women just don't have testosterone. That's just a simple fact. Not knocking them. That's what makes them great. So, but anyway, I'm just throwing that out there because I'm not knocking women at all. Not in the least. I do know when these cars go by, I can't see where I'm walking. So, kind of go slow until they pass. Certain point, then I can see where I'm going. So, what the hell, right? Trump had a great rally tonight. It was awesome. Really was. Super duper awesome, cool. It's just getting dark now. I'm sweating. And it's not really cool out tonight, but it feels cool because it's been hotter than this for a good week and a half. Almost 2 weeks. So it feels warmer. Cooler than it is, I mean. This would be a great, nice, awesome summer night, which it still is. Seen a couple of neighbors, they got fires going, enjoying the July weekend, which was nice. So, Trump didn't get killed. That's good. Oh my God. That's too bright of a headlight. Come on, dude. So anyway, I saw a cool clip of an interview with Mark Zuckerberg. Mr. Zuckerbucks, remember him? He's the one that poured almost $400 million into election rigging during the pandemic. That's why they're called Zuckerbucks. He put money into these communities to fund ballot harvesting, things like that. Manufacturing votes, which, you know, in those states, in all fairness, it was legal. But he influenced that heavily. And they hired a bunch of people to go out and solicit ballots, which coincidentally they mailed out a whole bunch of mail-out ballots because of the pandemic. Anyway, he did an interview, and they were talking with him. Obviously, that's what you do in interviews, right? And he was talking about not getting involved in elections this year. He's not going to get involved in them, he says. It's not stopping people from being censored on Instagram and Facebook, though. But what I've noticed is, what is the biggest product that Mark Zuckerberg is trying to sell right now? That would be AI. Artificial intelligence technology. So, guess who is a big proponent of AI technology when he gets in the White House? That's right, our lovely President Donald Trump. And we are going to have to do that because we have to compete with other countries. That's just the way things are going to go. I honestly believe AI is going to be the death of man. If you want to reference the movie The Terminator, that's fine. Terminator 2. So far, humans are doing pretty good on their own to get us to a nuclear holocaust. We don't need AI to help us. AI might actually make a better decision not to, because they will need us to build the machines. So they might get rid of some of us, but they'll keep us unless they come up with machines that can build the machines and design them and everything. That would be super duper AI, which is probably the ultimate goal. But anyways, Zuckerberg was saying he's not going to get involved in politics this year. And in the same interview, he's talking about Trump getting shot. And he goes, you know, from an American point of view, he said, I saw him get shot. This is what he said. I saw him get shot. He had that American flag up above his head, fist pumped in the air, got up when he could have stayed down just to show the country that we weren't going to be defeated by this. And Mark Zuckerberg said that was probably the coolest thing that he has ever seen. Like, he was really impressed with it. And how can he not be, right? So that really solidified Trump in American folklore. That's going to be in history books 200 years from now. You know why? Because things like that don't happen to people and then they lose the election. Can you imagine that? Going through everything he's gone through, the prosecutions, the persecutions, the crooked nonsense, and then he loses and gets forgotten about in 10 years or 5 years. I just don't see it. And, you know, something is definitely true with Trump is he's never lost. He's lost $998 million, was in debt for it, but he fought his way back. He doesn't quit. And I mean, that's crazy when you think about it. How many people would lose almost $1 billion in the hole and then come back from that, run for president, win, and then win again? But they said you didn't because they cheated with pandemic battleground states. And now people need to keep their focus and not think we've won already. I'm seeing talk like that online, and it's pissing me off. It hasn't started yet. Now the Democrats, oh, they're up to their tricks. Joe Biden is seething mad. The Democrats are trying to get him out. People he's known for 40, 50 years are pushing him out. Obama is pushing him out. He was in the White House with him for 8 years. Pushing him out. Everybody's pushing him out. The DNC, on the other hand, they wanted Biden from the beginning. They honestly believe Biden's going to beat Trump. That's what it looks like right now. And they are going to hold a special session. They're going to change the rules. All right, this was announced today. They're going to change their rules for their convention to force an early open primary vote, not private primary, but open convention vote, where they're going to move it up ahead of schedule. Instead of 3 weeks from now, they want to do this by August 6th. They want to force a vote from people that side with the DNC, because the DNC does the convention. DNC okays who becomes president. They are going to usurp Joe Biden. And why are they doing this? It's very simple. They want to save themselves the embarrassment. That's what they want to do. Of what an open convention would be. Because you got a whole bunch of Democrats going to be clawing and fighting with each other to get Biden out. And you're going to have a whole bunch of fighting. Donors don't like that. They may turn around and just support Trump. Some of them. Especially the big tech ones. Trump's already gotten some big tech interest on his side. Elon Musk is one of them. So Elon Musk is $45 million a month to fund Trump's campaign. And so Elon Musk has a lot of self-interest there. Elon Musk is working in AI, okay? Mark Zuckerberg's Meta is running into AI. A lot of big tech is going into AI. And Trump has already expressed a huge interest in developing AI so America leads the world. So these guys are on board with Trump. It's crazy how things change. Part of it's being selfish, I get that, but that's okay. That's all right. Maybe Zuckerberg will stop censoring Trump voters. You know? From his rhetoric, that might very well be the case. So a lot of Democrat voters are angry right now with the media. They're angry with Democrats trying to remove Biden. A lot of the voters want Biden gone. So they're in constant turmoil right now. They're fighting a lot. And Joe Biden's pissed. And he probably should be. But at the same time, you know, we have Democrats leaking things. Like I was talking with Biden and he didn't even recognize me. He's known me for 20 years and he didn't know I was in the room. He just walked by, he didn't, you know. Then I introduced myself and then he was like, yeah, oh, hi. So he didn't recognize me, according to this guy. You know, we're talking about the party that lies to the media all the time, propaganda. They're always in a constant quest for power, and they want Biden out because they know they're going to lose the House and the Senate and the White House, probably. So that's all that is. So that may not have even happened with Biden. But right now, people are believing it because the debate. Now, there were a couple of Democrats that did have a phone call with Biden, and they said he was talking like during the debate. And they are trustworthy Democrats to other Democrats. They're not ones that typically play those games, especially with each other. So there's stuff going on. You know, Biden today, again, said he's going to be out campaigning. After his COVID episode, he's going out campaigning. Kamala Harris raised $2 million today, this weekend. So there's definitely people that want to keep Biden, and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have come out and on the side of Biden. They're loyalists to the Democratic Party, the DNC, and the DNC wants to rush the convention up early with special new rules. They're going to change the rules. They're good at that. They love changing rules to fit what they want to do. They did it for COVID and mail-out ballots. They do it with everything. They did it with prosecuting Trump on frivolous nonsense, and then cheated to make sure it happened by not allowing the FEC Federal Elections Commission testify that what Trump did wasn't a crime. The thing that they were trying to tie together to make a crime, with two crimes tied together, they needed that misdemeanor crime, which Trump would have just had to pay a fine for, and turned it into a felony by lying that it was a crime in the first place when it wasn't. So that's going to get overturned. People know that, but they cheat. That's the point. And they're doing it to their own now because they want Biden out. So seems to be where we're at right now. Trump had a great rally tonight. He didn't get shot, so that's good. And he's got a war chest of money. Things are going good. The entire party is uniting right now. Tonight at Trump's rally, there's two guys running for Senate in Michigan. They've been competing against each other, and they've decided not to have two Republicans on the ticket because after the Michigan primary is coming up. So this guy just went ahead and said, while he was on stage with Trump, he said that the other guy was chosen by Trump, endorsed by him. He goes, I'm going to respectfully bow out and give up my chance at running so we can have a united, strong, single candidate instead of watering down votes in Michigan. Because Michigan, if you don't win 50% of the vote, they have like these weird runoff elections, and you know, there'll be lawsuits, there'll be all kinds of ugliness. And we have a real chance to grab serious power in the Senate, and especially Congress, the House, the lower chamber. So, and we have two chambers of Congress, in case people didn't know. The Senate is the upper chamber. So, anyways, we got a chance to win both and the White House. And we can get some serious things done. Then we'll have to deal with the third branch of government, which is the lawsuits they're going to file whenever Trump wants to do something, or the Republicans. And Democrats are not going to go peacefully in the night. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. The same thing they tried to do in 2016. They tried to stall the Electoral College votes. The stuff they accused Trump of, okay? That's, the Democrats did that in 2016. They even took it to a floor vote. They didn't win it, because Republicans had the House at the time. That's why. So if the Democrats win the House and Congress, which looks pretty unlikely if I'm honest about it, we're talking about 20 seats or more. Some people have said possibly even 50 seats going to the Republicans. I'm not ready to say anything like that, but that certainly would be lovely. That'd be better than the 1, 2, and 3 seat lead we had and lost. I think we still have a 1 seat lead. And so it's going to be interesting. Election night is going to be interesting for more reasons than just the White House. But of course, the big one's the White House. Trump reiterated today women and men's sports. He said on day 1, that's going. He's going to stop child indoctrination in schools. He's going to be changing the school board. And they're going to file lawsuits on all of this stuff. But if they can get Congress and the Senate and the power of the Republicans with enough of a majority where Democrats can do whatever the hell they want and try to stall, and it's not going to work. So anyway, we will go on with that. Now, Biden's COVID, I still say, was a scam for some reason. They needed a delay or a pause without any noise in private. And I say that because he went on the plane, he didn't have a mask on. All right? None of his people around him had masks on. They're not wearing masks anymore. So typically when somebody has COVID, they like to milk it. Everybody puts a mask on. Oh my God, he's so sick. He's so sick. Look, he's wearing a mask. Which I still don't know how that equates to anything important, but anyway, that's what they were doing with that. So I think Biden was very angry. The anonymous source said he was seething at Nancy Pelosi, but how true is the anonymous source? We've had anonymous sources saying he was dropping out by the end of this weekend. We've had other sources say he's not dropping out. The Biden campaign officially stated today he's not dropping out. Kamala Harris was out fundraising, but she has access to the money. So just because she's out fundraising doesn't mean it's for Biden. It might be for herself. Now, the DNC is going to bump up the convention for a couple of reasons. One of the big ones is Kamala Harris only has access to that money. That's it. And she can't say, okay, well, I'll pass it off to this other person. It's a super PAC, it's election law. It's illegal to do that. So, what do you do with Kamala Harris? You don't want her to be president. The DNC does not want her to be president. She's not a serious person. They only picked her because of her ethnicity. And they expected Biden to be fine. And he's not. Something happened between 2020 and not too long after the election. He got a lot worse pretty quick. And he spent a lot of time hiding it, 3 months at a time without doing press conferences. And the debate, they just ran out of luck, ran out of time. That's really all that happened. So, they're going to have to ride with Biden. They're going to have to ride with Biden. And for several reasons. One, they don't want Kamala, and they can't replace Kamala. Because then the black community is going to say, what? Kamala, the black woman, wasn't good enough? The females are going to be like, oh, she's a woman, right? And their whole party is about DEI, diversity. So they can't do that. It's like, come on, man, as Biden would say. There's no way they can do that. So Kamala knows that. That's why she's out campaigning for money. It's not for Biden, even though that's what she said it's for. Biden goes out, he can't raise money. She goes out, she's raising money because people think she's going to step in. But what they're really going to do, I think, is the DNC is trying to bump up the Democrat convention with special rule changes so they can go ahead and solidify Biden as the candidate, because they have to do that. That's the best thing for the party, even though he's terrible. They figure, what they're thinking is, once this decision has been made and there's no more chance Kamala or anybody else is going to be president, that the media is going to start backing Biden. Which very well may be true, even though they've spent the last 3 weeks throwing him under the bus, saying all kinds of bad things about him. I don't know how they're going to explain that, how they're going to square that with their viewers, what little they have left. But, so since the assassination attempt, here's the other aspect of it. It's an absolute fact that all of the media except MSNBC is changing their rhetoric. And even MSNBC is not going with the dictator thing, even though Joy Reid had to open her friggin' mouth and say Trump's speech at the Republican National Convention was Castro-esque, I think she said. Like Fidel Castro. So she didn't get the message. She got a bunch of backlash for that. She actually made her social media accounts private because we just had an assassination attempt on somebody. Whether you support Trump or not, we can't have this as a country. And behavior like hers is despicable. That's why I was glad that a lot of people that hate Trump passionately came out and said, we can't wish for him to be killed. That's not who we are. So that's good. So I don't care about these little peons, 18, 19 years old, running around on the internet thinking they're hot shit, calling for, oh, I'm sorry he missed them. So nobody cares about those people. I care about the Hollywood people, and people like Robert De Niro haven't said anything. Stephen King hasn't said anything. Mark Hamill, who hates Trump with an absolute passion, has been making fun of his bandage he has, and that's okay, you know? That's different than saying, oh, too bad they missed. So that's okay, that's fair game, you know? Joe Biden falls down, we'll laugh at him. That's politics, that's fine. Even though it's seriously not funny. But so that's what the DNC is doing right now. They're trying to lock up Biden as the nominee. They're not trying to kick him out. And they brought in Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, a couple of senior Democrats, former president, former Secretary of State under Obama, despite Obama trying to get Biden thrown out. So there's an internal thing going on there, and these people were all friends with each other, and they're coming unglued. So the DNC is going to nip this in the bud, because once Biden is officially the nominee, the only thing taking Biden out is the 25th Amendment, or Biden dying of a stroke or becoming incapacitated by one, and having the 25th done, which the Republicans would be classy about. They would not make jokes about it if Biden had a stroke and became incapacitated. So it's very interesting. Like I said, I've never seen this in my lifetime. Chances are you haven't either, because I don't think we've ever had anything like this ever happen. So kookiest thing I can think of is in the 1800s with Adams and Hamilton, I believe. They hated each other. Different parties. And Adams' election campaign for president won. Electoral count was done. That was fine. But they didn't have as many electoral votes as they have now. And somebody screwed up. I don't know what they did, to be honest with you, but the electoral count for the vice president didn't count. So Congress, which was led by Republicans at the time, got to choose who the vice president would be because they had the majority. That's constitutional. It ensures the continuance of power. And we're supposed to be democratic, so that should be just fine and copacetic. And at the time, even though they hated each other, they both loved their country and they got along to get along, and they got stuff done. That's what you're supposed to do. Until now, where everybody literally hates each other. So this assassination attempt really woke a lot of people up to have some common sense and say, wow, you know, I contributed to that with my rhetoric. I poisoned the well. They're not saying it publicly, but by not saying anything at all, which a lot of them that just could not shut up about Trump have been doing. And the people on The View have already opened their mouth and stepped in it because they can't help themselves. They made another comment. They were talking about his assassination attempt. And what's her name? Navarro, that Latino girl who was on CNN. She made a comment about they were making fun of Trump saying that he was saved by divine intervention. Joy Behar goes, well, I'm a Christian and I'm offended. And of course, obviously coming out of her mouth with that, that's a bunch of crap. She's not a practicing Christian. She doesn't act like one. She's a freaking scumbag. She's a ball of hate. So anyway, she said that Trump doing that was, you know, basically she was saying, you know, how could he say that? You know, and then she made a reference about kids killed in a mass shooting. Like, you're trying to tell me God picks and chooses who's saved and who isn't? And yes, I think most Christians understand that. Some people of notable difference sometimes are spared, and some are not. So, don't know why. You have to be a believer to understand what that's all about. And of course, there's always that thing where you roll your eyes and go, oh, come on. So it doesn't matter what happens, you find an excuse for it. That's what it sounds like. So basically, that's what she was saying. After saying she's a Christian, she didn't say she was a Catholic or, you know, she didn't name what denomination. You know, because I'm Catholic, I'm a Christian, so I get it, okay? But she didn't specify. It's not something she talks about on her show, unless she's bashing Trump, I guess is my point. So, Navarro made a comment about, well, then it's too bad God didn't reach down and unplug his microphone. So that didn't go over well after what happened. I mean, that was only like 5 days after. They're waiting to be able to go at it again, Adam. That's what they're doing. When is it going to be socially acceptable to crucify the man again? And I don't think it's going to be. You can say hateful things or whatever. I've seen people on the internet, they're trying to say that he's a criminal. They're trying to say he's, what was the exact word they used? Oh yeah, he raped a 13-year-old. That's a rumor online. So, out of all the crimes they accuse him of, they choose falsifying business records as the big gonna get him with. you'd think that child rape would be like really right on top of the friggin' list, don't you think? So, anyway, they're rabid little jerks doing rabid little jerk things. But I've been paying attention to the celebrities, media people, the same media people that was saying awful things about Trump. They're not doing it anymore, except for MSNBC. And even then, they have toned down the dictator talk and Nazi talk. I mean, for the longest time, all we heard about was it's okay to punch a Nazi. They're wearing a red hat, punch them. Anybody with a red hat and red letters, they're Nazis. So, I mean, we all heard that for years now. And what has it gotten them? They've destroyed their own party. And, you know, a lot of us were saying for a while, you know, why don't they stop with this going after the kids in schools and transgender this, and why don't they stop that? They're hurting their party. But it's money. They're being influenced by these billionaire socialists. That's the agenda they want to push. So that's why they're doing it. And so thankfully the federal court halted Biden's student loan payoff with taxpayer dollars. And of course that's going to go to a higher court, an appellate. And that might very well end up going to the Supreme Court, but that'll be well after the election. So don't think you'll see that until summer 2025. So Trump really spent some time tonight addressing the Project 2025. And he said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I know a couple of guys in that. I don't know them. I don't support this. And he said, you have to understand, both parties have extremists. The Democrat Party has far left extremists that say crazy things and do crazy things. He referenced the Squad, which would be AOC and Presley and these friggin' lunatics. And he said we have them on the right. Far right extremists. I don't support what they're doing, he said. So, it's not going to be the end of it, though. You know, the media and Democrats desperately need something to resuscitate Biden. So, right now they're putting gel on the paddles, giving him a jump start. And so after they get his heart going again, he'll be back to having the media. Now, the reason why the Democrats want to solidify Biden, because at this point, they're already thinking that Biden is going to lose. They don't see anybody else that's going to win either. So it's obvious they've made an internal decision that, look, we have Kamala on the ticket, we're going to lose. Well, Michelle Obama is not interested. Gavin Newsom also said he's not interested. That's kind of new news, because a lot of people were assuming Gavin would be picked. Today's rumor on the social media is that because of an opinion piece written by Washington Post or New York Times, like that means anything, that Hillary Clinton might be jumping in for Hillary versus Trump 2.0. Highly unlikely. Because Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton jumped in to save Biden today, actually. So that's these people are very desperate. You can't read anything and trust it right now. Right now, it's basically Biden is in until he's out. Or he's out until he's in, depending on which newspaper you read. So ignore the noise. It's all noise. Trust your gut instinct. I've already explained it's rational that Gavin Newsom 2028 is what he's looking at. So, and it's the same thing. If something happened to Trump right now and they had to put a candidate in there, everybody's going to want DeSantis, but he's not going to do that because he's not going to be a band-aid for Trump. He wants to run for president in 2028. He doesn't want to win this way. That's, you know, that's just how that is. I mean, and again, it's campaign money. DeSantis jumps in, he's not going to have Trump's campaign money. The only person that would have access to it would be J.D. Vance. The party would more than likely push J.D. Vance, which would be risky. But they wouldn't have a choice. So Trump talked about that a little bit. He said if something had happened to him, he goes, somebody else would have been here this week. Probably J.D. Vance, I don't know, he said. In other words, that wouldn't be up to me. So, thankfully, that didn't happen. So right now, things are firing on all cylinders with the Republican Party. Extremely united. The Republican convention was wonderful. It preached unity. It preached diversity, reaching across to minorities. And, you know, I've seen a couple of black people this week that are Republicans that were saying that deep down, blacks are Republicans. They always have been. They always have been. Martin Luther King was. You know, they just got taken over by the Democrats. They got conned. And they need to come back. But they're only going to do it on their own when things get bad enough. And things are pretty bad right now. So that's why you're seeing, you know, some black people coming over to Trump and a lot of Hispanics as well. Biden has lost the Hispanic vote. That's gone. I think he has like 27% when he had almost 60 in 2020. So they have jumped the Democrat plantation. Black people is closer to 18, between 18 and 20%. Most Republicans have always gotten 9%, 10% if they were lucky. So Trump has doubled that. Now, if you get more black people crossing over to vote for Trump, especially young people, and you know, here's the other thing that's not good for Biden. Biden's losing the youth vote. He had a 20-point difference from where he is now with young people in 2020. That has vaporized. It has gone to Trump. Now it looks like Trump has a 5-point lead on Biden with young people. That is tremendously, tremendously huge. Big time huge. So that's a big deal. And the other thing we've been noticing at these Trump rallies last weekend too, and tonight too, there's a lot more 20 to 30-year-olds at the Trump rally. They're seeing Donald Trump get prosecuted, persecuted, and they can't stick him in jail. And he's becoming a folk hero. These young people are like, wow, man, he's pretty cool. So, and I think another big thing for Trump is the no tax on tips. I think that is friggin' brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, people did their taxes this year and they weren't happy. Some of them paid more taxes than they've ever paid. And that's the new IRS that Biden is cracking down and fundraising off people, despite him going on TV every other day saying, pay your fair share. We're not going to raise people's taxes 1 penny under $400,000 if that's what they earn. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Cost of living right now has gone up, so people have less money, and the tax cuts are going to be running out the end of this year. That's just a fact. And those were Trump's tax cuts. So now people are going to have to pay more tax next year. Unless they vote for Trump. Then you end up with the House and the Senate, and Trump as president, then you're going to have a tax package passed that's going to be extended tax cuts, because the tax cuts that were done were temporary. They weren't made permanent. So the Republicans need to make that permanent. And they need to hammer that during their elections, which I'm sure they are. So right now, Republicans are doing really good in the congressional elections and the Senate elections. So this is going to be interesting, folks. Because basically what it comes down to as a voter, you don't want Biden to win, and you want Biden to lose. So if Biden wins, you don't want Biden to have the Congress and the Senate. I'll wait till these guys go by. So if Biden loses, you want to make sure that, at least, basically what people are going to be doing subconsciously when they vote is they don't want Biden to have too much power in case he wins. Let's say they believe Biden's going to win. And they say, well, he's pretty terrible, he's old, I don't like a lot of the things they've done. I don't want to give him complete power of Congress and the Senate. So they won't vote for the Democrat. Or they will just vote for Biden against Biden. So there's a lot of different scenarios with that, obviously. I'm sure you've already thought about 10 different ones already, just when I said that. But that's the point. You're not going to have a uniform, everybody gets behind Biden. They're all going to do something different, and it's going to add up. And that benefits Trump. And make no mistake, half this country does not like Donald Trump. They don't like him. They don't like Biden, they don't like Trump. So I hope those people just don't vote. Because if they don't, as it is right now, Trump should win easily. So if somebody's undecided and they don't know who they're going to vote for, don't vote for anybody. Just don't do that. Don't vote for Biden just because you're going to end up with him as president. And I think people understand that. So we'll see what happens. But certainly is interesting. We are going to see some stuff, my friends. I'm sweating pretty good right now. So there we have it. There it is. That's my view on that. Don't know if I'm right or not. The other thing is the Trump assassination attempt. Probably finish the rest of my walk talking about that. New information has come out. It's really looking like it was just one shooter. People refuse to believe it. A lot of young people today are very sharp and crafty. And I saw the best reasoning today on YouTube by somebody that makes sense, and she's really good. And she put together a 3D animation from the given. She only used facts and information that we already know. The amount of gunshots, what the gunshots sound like, and known trajectory of the bullets, bullet holes that were found at the scene that have been, the information is out now. And it's blatantly obvious to me and to most other people, well, not most other people, but a lot of other people, that there was one shooter. You can tell by listening to it. And like I said in my last walk, all you have to do is get the RSBN 10-hour broadcast that they did live. Very good picture quality. They're not zoomed up at Trump when the shots happen, but that's not what you need. What you need is to listen to the shots. It was recorded very well. It's absolutely without a doubt that the shooter fired 8 shots. 3 quick ones. First one missed Trump. Second one went through his ear. The third one missed. And it missed Trump because, unfortunately, because we know where the person was sitting that got shot in the head. He was standing up at the time and kind of almost blocking the sight line, because in this animation you have a 3D computer model based on GPS and actually known measurements and coordinates, digitally accurate, that shows from behind the guy crawling up the roof and the view and the sight line he had. And also, he was partially covered by tree coverage from Secret Service, okay? That's why he crawled up where he was. That's a decision you make when you're crawling up a roof and you know it's a big deal like that, and you know there's Secret Service with snipers, that he knew where the snipers were because he saw them. He was looking with his rangefinder 20 minutes earlier. Secret Service looked back at him. He's outside of the grounds, okay? That's the important thing here. It's not illegal to look through a rangefinder from outside the grounds. Maybe he's trying to get a look at Trump. He doesn't have a weapon. So you can't shoot guys because they have an optical device. You just can't. So it's really that simple. So 20 minutes later, he goes up there, crawling on that roof. And so I've been smelling something burning on my walk. It's getting stronger. Making me wonder if there's been a fire around or a big campfire or something. But anyways, you can see from behind him, it's a 3D animation. Very good one. Crawling up behind, looking right what he would be looking at. It shifts from being behind him to what he is actually seeing. He has a very narrow field of vision to shoot. Now you'll notice the tractors that were on the side of Trump, one of which was spraying mist because it was hot for people. Those are strategically placed defensively to block snipers. So he only had a little sliver of a thing to shoot through. You know, on TV it looks like this big open field, but from his vantage point, Secret Service had a tree in the way. They shot him through tree branches. That's how good those guys are. So, anyway, there's 3 quick shots at Trump. There's actually a shot, pause, another shot, and then Trump is down. This guy starts shooting. And he fires 5 quick shots. Paf, 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 paf. all of the shots traced from the bullet holes behind where Trump was standing. All 5 of those shots after those 3 were all directly where Trump was standing. The problem is his vantage point he couldn't shoot down on the ground on the stage where the Secret Service was on Trump. So those bullets went whizzing by them. Now I'm sure the Secret Service agents on top of Trump heard those whizzing. It was over very quick. So, and you can plainly hear that on the video, okay? There's absolutely no argument about it, and it goes along with that animation perfectly. It was well done, and they know where the bullets landed, okay? One of the bullets hit a railing. There's a camera angle that shows the video where this guy is standing there. It goes right between his body and his armpit and hits the railing. That's the one that went through Trump's ear. And it went through that guy's side underneath his shoulder. Just under his armpit is where the bullet hit. And then it went underneath the armpit of the guy standing behind him, leaning on a railing, and it hit the railing. You could see the bullet vaporize. Very good footage. So those first 3 shots on Trump are explained because of known information that is not conspiracy. They know where the bullets hit, and we know where the shooter was. That's basically all there is to it. So if you listen to it, you hear 3 shots, and then you hear 5 quick shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He starts dumping a magazine where Trump was standing, hoping to hit him. So that's all he was doing. At first I thought people in the crowd got shot. Maybe he saw Trump go down. Well, now I'm just going to go out in a blaze of glory and I'm going to kill as many Trumpers as I can. That's really not what he did. Those last 5 shots, he was trying to shoot Trump, but he didn't have the sight line all the way down to the surface of the stage, if that makes sense. And I think the Secret Service knows that. That's why 3 walks ago, I was saying, the Secret Service always says, get down, get down. That's the best thing to do when you're getting shot at, is to get down. Just for that reason. Now you want to get down and scramble off out of trouble, but with Secret Service there, they just covered you with a meat blanket, a sacrificial meat blanket, because these guys knew they could get shot when they did that. And they did it. And I'm sure they heard those 5 shots whiz right by them while they were on top of Trump. That's why they didn't leave the stage right away. They waited until he was neutralized, which he was. And you could hear that too in the video. You can clearly hear that guy saying, wait, wait, not yet, or something like that. Then finally he got the all clear, and he said, clear, go, or something like that. You can hear that in the video. So this all, I'm perfectly convinced I know what happened. What we don't know is how it happened. The media has been not paying attention by saying that he had an AR rifle snuck in there ahead of time. No, he didn't. He didn't go through a checkpoint. He was outside the grounds. He didn't go into the rally. So, and if he did, he left and then came back and did what he did. He had a backpack. That's what they said. He had a backpack, he had his rangefinder, he had a firearm, he had 3 magazines, 100 rounds of ammunition. He's not carrying that in his pockets on a freaking 95-degree day, okay? So, we don't know what kind of AR he had. He might have had one with a folding stock. We haven't really seen any pictures of it. Hopefully the congressional hearing, what's her name there, the head of the Secret Service, has agreed to testify and talk. So hopefully we get some info. I don't know if they're making that public or if it's private or what they're doing. There's, you know, classified information, you know, whatever. We're going to have to trust our Republicans that hear what's going on. And from what I gather, you had both parties inquiring about it with all seriousness. So you may actually see the Democrats in a bipartisan manner, because Biden has been trying to find unity somehow after dividing everybody. Apparently they had a poll that told them that everybody's blaming Biden for us being divided in the media. So you may just see them not take pot shots at each other, Democrat versus Republican, actually get to the bottom of this, because this is serious stuff. Let's say Biden wins, okay? And he's the president, and you got some nut out there that's going to take him out. Well, you know, you got to have this stuff sorted out. Just do. I would be perfectly content with Trump doing every rally from now on indoors. Tonight was really good. I mean, it's really too bad because those outdoor ones are really awesome. But, you know, you do what you got to do. I mean, it's not going to hurt him if he doesn't. Still do them inside. It's easier to do security with those. You're not getting into one of those with a firearm, I'm telling you. This kid didn't even get into this one with one. Even though the media is like, how did he get he must have placed a firearm there ahead of time. Well, maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. It doesn't really matter. He wasn't inside the rally. So it's kind of a moot point, really. I don't think he really understood what he was going to do. I think he probably planned that he could hide behind in the thick of those trees. Secret Service wouldn't see him. He could get his shots off, kill Trump, take off, blend in with the crowd when they're leaving, because he was dressed like a Republican. And probably, I think, what he was going to do, because he had that improvised explosive device in his car, and he had another one at home. Now, they haven't said anything about those. I mean, he did have the remote control with him to detonate it. So that might have been a distraction for him to escape after he did it. I don't think he planned on getting killed. But hey, he effed around and found out, right? Secret Service took one shot, and in that broadcast, the very last shot you hear is kind of silent. So they were trying to say that is the other shooter. And it's like, yeah, it was the freaking Secret Service sniper. And the reason why it sounds funny is because it's suppressed. He had a suppressor. What the Democrats call a silencer, even though it doesn't really silence anything. It suppresses the noise. So all of the Secret Service snipers use those. I've seen those in person. You can see them in any video angle they show. They have them suppressed. The military guys that came out on stage, they were suppressed also. So, and they do that for communications purposes. You can't be wearing like all this hearing protection and communicate with headquarters and people on your ear, you know. So, no, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the main purpose of that. Huh? What? Can you say that again? I was shooting. I mean, that doesn't work, okay? We said if you don't leave in the next second, you'll be... Oh, crap, you're dead. Sorry. Tried to tell you. I did find out that at the Republican National Convention before Trump went out, the head of the Secret Service stopped and talked with him. She had a conversation with him backstage. So I guess squared everything with him. So mistakes were definitely made. I don't think they were intentional, I guess is my point. I just don't. It just was a bad circumstance at the bad time, wrong time. People furiously hate Trump right now. For every rally he's done outdoors, there might have been 4 other ones like him that just didn't get a chance to get in or do anything because of security. So, you know, we don't know. I'd find it highly unlikely that this is the first guy that tried to do that. I guess that's all I'm saying. So anyway, that's all I got with that. I feel a lot better about it today with the information I have. You know, there's been stuff circulating on the internet. This woman sitting behind Trump didn't even flinch. She looks just like the assistant director of Secret Service or the FBI or whatever the hell it was. And I'm like, come on, guys, come on. Why the hell would she be sitting there on fucking TV, excuse my French, with something this big that would happen for somebody to go, oh my God, look, she's sitting right there. Come on, guys, use common sense. These people, especially conservatives on the internet, they love conspiracies. And who doesn't like a good conspiracy? I just spent my whole walk talking about what happened, but I'm basing all my stuff on facts. I don't want to put fake, false information out there. It's very dangerous. What got Trump shot at and almost killed is the media. That I firmly believe. It's the truth. They have poisoned the well. They've been doing this for 9 years to him. And this attitude started when Obama was president, because, you know, at one point Obama wanted Fox News kicked out of the White House press briefings. And the other media companies said, hey, you can't do that. Freedom of the press, that's unconstitutional. So that was over in a day. CNN spoke up, even MSNBC spoke up. But look how far we've fallen since then. And I think the CEOs of these companies, I said, okay, guys, that's it. This is too far, too much. And besides that, Trump's kicking our rear ends. This isn't working. We can't even lock the son of a bitch up, okay? That's it. We have to beat him at the battle box, as Biden said, when he meant ballot box. So, good luck with that. They still have cheating. They still have cheating in their favor. And you can damn well bet, after what happened in 2020, you're going to have a lot of run-ins with Republicans protecting ballot boxes, watching them. They have technology now. You're going to see some guy sitting out there recording everything that happens. And in some states, it's legal to walk around with an assault-style rifle in the streets. You're probably going to see people do that. It's legal here. Absolutely illegal here. In fact, one of the COVID protests I went to, this guy was in full tack gear from a gun club in Wyndham, I think. And he had an AR rifle, holding it in both hands, right at the Capitol, with police around and everything, and nobody did anything. So, that is not illegal here, and he was fully loaded. He was there to keep the peace in case something did happen, because you had all kinds of stuff breaking out at the time. So I've seen that in person. So some states, like Maine, that's completely legal. You are going to get somebody to call the police if you walk around like that. But when they show up, they're going to ask you questions. And you'd probably be wise to shoulder it when you see them. You'd probably be wise not to walk around carrying it. And we do have some laws, despite with constitutional carry, we do have, like, you can't have a loaded shotgun in the car while you're driving. It has to be in the trunk, loaded or unloaded. It cannot be in the car. So that is actually a Maine law. So, you know, I don't think it's enforceable. I don't think anybody pays attention to it, but it is a law in the books. It is. It goes along with the law that they passed, because when I was a kid in the 70s, they used to have those rear view pickup truck racks where you'd have a couple hunting rifles on a rack in the rear window. I mean, everybody has seen those in old movies. And I saw those when I was a kid here. That's illegal now, so that's against the law, even with constitutional carry. So, as far as I know. Don't take everything I say as fact, okay? I just recall from my memory and I talk, and that's what comes out. Not always right. But as far as I know, this kid at the Trump rally that did the shooting went in. He wasn't inside. What the fuck that guy was looking at? Did you see that? That's the kind of crap I don't like. Turn around slow like that, like they were circling up on me. Did you see that? I was ready to grab my pistol. I don't freaking trust anything right now. And I always carry round chambered, no safety, good to go, locked and loaded. These days, when people do things and act funny, you can't trust them at all. Can't trust what they're saying. You can't trust their excuse. Even if it's true, don't trust it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the walk and talk with me tonight. A lot of stuff to talk about right now. And if I had enough energy to walk another mile or two, then I probably would, but I had a long day today. I got up at about 5:30 this morning. Well, 5:30 this morning. It is about 10 o'clock at night right now. We went shooting. I was in the sun all day. I'm spent. Now I just got my 5 miles, and I'm going to say thank you for walking with me. It was really nice. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'm wondering if there's another forest fire in friggin' Canada or something, because I can smell smoke tonight. So, and it looks a little hazy in front of the streetlights. So I'm going to snoop online what's going on with that. I've been smelling burning wood since I've been walking, no matter where I go or which way the wind blows. So something's going on. Don't know what yet. But anyway, thank you for walking with me. And we will see you on the next walk on Walking with Beau. Click like and subscribe, share the content, and thank you very much for being super duper awesome, cool, wonderful. Bye bye, folks.